Our first speaker today, Joe Simons, with him is Bill Hagan, are from an organization called Off the Streets, which works with social services or agencies to find people housing. So please welcome to Justice Southbury, Joe Simons.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to come out today and talk to you about Off the Streets. Just as Rick mentioned, we work to get people who are experiencing homelessness into permanent housing, and we really do that in two ways. We fill up the missing pieces of the puzzle, and in a lot of cases that involves a security deposit and providing basic furniture and household goods. Just a little bit about how we got started. We got started 15 years ago. The guy who started it is a guy by the name of Mike Oles. He and I were both volunteer coordinators at the Dorothy Day Hospitality House shelter in Danbury, which some of you may be familiar with. And Mike was he is a deacon in the Catholic Church, and he was asked to talk about homelessness to confirmation classes of kids. So he would bring one of the folks from the shelter there so that the kids could put a face to homelessness and just it wouldn't be abstract. And the guy that he liked to bring was a guy by the name of Rodney. Very articulate, intelligent guy. And he went down to Norwalk once with Rodney, and the kids were so impressed with him. They say, why is this guy homeless? Why is he homeless? And they took up a collection to get him housed. And Mike didn't know anything about getting people into housing at the time. All we knew was how to run a homeless shelter. And the kids kept on bugging him. Well, what did you do for Rodney? Is Rodney still in the shelter? Is Rodney still in the shelter? And then he did a little investigating, and he found out that Rodney was getting a check every month, but what he lacked was a security deposit to get him over the hump into housing. So he housed Rodney, and then we decided that, hey, maybe we can do this on an ongoing basis. And that's how kind of Off the Streets started. It's really working with people who are homeless, who have some way to pay a rent, but are still homeless. And a lot of times that barrier is a security deposit. The other thing that turned out that we found out that was that we would get people into housing, come back, visit them a couple days later, and find them sleeping on the floor of an empty apartment. So we decided we could do something here. So we started to collect furniture and household goods. So that's really the core of our work. We work very closely with the social service agencies in the Danbury area. The cooperation among the agencies in Danbury, I think is really remarkable. And they really are the ones, they do most of the heavy lifting. So they'll, identify people, they'll do the vetting to make sure that they're homeless, that they've got a way to pay rent, and then they'll pass along the names to us. We'll work on security deposit if needed and furniture. And the really good thing that they do is, in a lot of cases, a lot of people need ongoing support. So the caseworkers will remain in contact with people and guide them, and because there's crises that inevitably occur, and they'll stay in touch with them and make sure that that they remain housed. So that's our basic story at what we do at Off the Streets. We're an all-volunteer organization. Okay, we don't accept government money, but we do accept private contributions. We depend on contributions. Unfortunately, housing is tighter than ever and more expensive than ever. So we get about half of our money from individuals, but then we get some from corporations, churches, community organizations, and things like that.